Good afternoon,
Hello.
everybody. I expect a smaller crowd today because we're now this is a new day. They're
Mm-hmm.
not used to us being on Wednesday, but they'll be here. They got 38 already in the room. That's good. That's very good. Keep on coming in. I expect a smaller crowd until you guys get used to the new schedule of Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Um, but hopefully it'll be a good deal, not a bad deal for everybody involved. Want to welcome back Mr. Mello, who
Appreciate
is
it.
hopefully becoming the staple of the union. Uh,
Yes.
and so we can have this thing. Let me adjust one more thing here.
Got some young.
Bam.
We got some young meat up in here.
Yeah, there we go. Very young meat. Mucho youngo mito. It's
So
Spanish.
look. So we don't have a bunch of We have two millennials, I think. Yeah, two millennials and two Gen X's.
I'm
So,
more ex-millennial.
All right, ex-millennial. He's an elder millennial. Then we have millennial and two Gen Xers. So we have a variety of
And we got one old guy.
ways we see the world.
We got one really old guy right here.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the oldest guy.
He's the oldest.
Generation A.
No, Generation X. Marlon's only 1 year older than me or younger than me. So don't let him
Nah,
fool.
more than that.
Man, you 1 year and 1 month. Exactly.
More than that. I'm like a couple of 5-6 years.
He was
man.
born February 8th, 1977.
Nah, fam.
I was
That's a
born
different guy.
January 9th, 1976. What is that?
That's 1976.
You was
Man,
born-
that's old. Wow.
Dang.
that ain't
Yeah,
old,
that-
man. I'm in my damn prime.
All I hear is Kevin Hart. Damn. Sorry.
Hey, I'll take it, man. I'm successful. I work my ass off. I'm lucky to be alive at 47. Shit.
Hey, we agree. So, to get things kicked off, in case you guys have not been keeping track, it's been going on for a while since last year. But they've had quite a few hearings going on that have to do with FBI and DOJ overreach. But this particular case we're talking about is a more applicable one to people who are definitely on the right. Apparently, there was a case with a Catholic pastor, Catholic priest, or whatever they call him in the Catholicism.
Parishioner.
Yeah, and he was protesting outside of Planned Parenthood, and the logic is that they are charging. They charged him with blocking access or egress to the Planned Parenthood. He managed to get home, okay, and then for some unbeknownst reason, the FBI show up at his home, guns, army raid outfits, banging the door down, breaking in and holding them at gunpoint and arresting the guy, and in the process of taking him to jail and before a court, they released him within an hour and found him not guilty. And so what we're going to be talking about is the exchange between Merrick Garland and Josh Hawley in regard to that event. And then we'll also take a look at his interaction with him, those same two guys, with regards to Trump and the Mar-a-Lago raid. And what we're going to show you is, well, I want you to look for two things. Look at Garland's
Not answer
body.
questions is one.
Yeah. Look at his body language. If you ever have a dog, you guys have dogs, and you walk in the house and you know something's not right, and you look at the dog, and the dog look at you like, I'm not here.
I didn't do
That's what
nothing.
That's what you see with this guy, and it's kind of hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of funny.
Hey, a spoiler alert, folks. Questions will not be answered, and expect a lot of deflection and pivoting and all that stuff.
Mucho deflectiono. That's my Spanish. All right.
This
Yeah.
is
Hey, look. Imagine if he was then. Imagine if he had made it to the Supreme Court.
Yo.
Imagine if that brother had actually made it.
Mhm.
That would have been bad, like really bad.
And look, everyone get out a piece of paper, right? And I want you to write down some of the flaws that you catch in his answers. Just write it down, like his body movement, the way he answers things, and post it in the chat so we can see how much we all notice the same thing.
Don't forget what he doesn't answer.
everything is educational here. This is one thing that our podcast is about. It's about getting people to think, free thinkers, and educate you at the same time.
Critical
And if
thinking.
you- yeah,
Critical thinking. Yes, that also.
Critical thinking. Critical.
The brain is a powerful
Yeah,
thing, y'all.
yeah.
You use more than 10%. That's why you need to start critically
A
thinking.
mind is a terrible thing to waste.
That's right.
Sometimes for people, they think a mind is a terrible thing to have. All right, so let's listen to it. It's about 2 minutes and 23 seconds long, but we want to listen to the whole thing. Okay, here we go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me just ask you, does the department have a problem with
tax all agents and all bias against religion.
Well, you could have surprised me, because given the resources that you are expending and the apparently intelligence assets that you are deploying against Catholics, it appears, and other people of faith, while simultaneously turning a blind eye while people are executed gang style on the streets of our cities, including in my home state, your answer frankly surprises me.
I'm saying what I just said.
Which is that you're abdicating responsibility?
I'm not abdicating
Then
responsibility.
give me the answer. Do you think, in your opinion, you are the Attorney General of the United States? You are in charge of the Justice Department. And yes, sir, you are responsible.
Yeah.
So give me an answer.
The FBI does not agree with your description.
I'm not asking about the FBI. You are the Attorney General. Give me your answer. Do you think that it was objectively reasonable and they followed your guidelines in sending 20 to 30 armed agents to terrorize these people? Yes.
The facts I have, which are those presented by the FBI, are not consistent with your description.
So you think it was reasonable?
I'm saying the facts are not as you describe.
What, that the children weren't
boss.
there? That there weren't long guns there? There were agents? What do you dispute? What's the factual premise you dispute? Be
FBI
specific.
said they don't agree with your description of
Be specific. They don't agree with what?
of how many agents, of the agents who were there, and of what their roles were. They don't agree.
Philadelphia District Attorney declines to prosecute. Private suits dismissed. You use an unbelievable show of force with guns that I just note liberals usually decry. We're supposed to hate long guns and assault-style weapons. You're happy to deploy them against Catholics and innocent children. Happy to. And then you haul them into court and a jury acquits him in 1 hour. I just suggest to you that is a disgraceful performance by your Justice Department and a disgraceful use of resources.
All right.
Did y'all hear the questions not being answered like today's feminists?
Man, what?
Merrick
The
Garland is
deflection.
your modern feminist.
The
deflection was
so-
huge.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Yeah, he didn't answer the question about the use of force. All he talked about was how many agents were there. Well, the FBI said that. No. Talk about the guns. Talk about the use of force. You know, why would you need that much force for a Catholic priest who was not even a threat? He was just protesting, which is protected under the First Amendment, right? It's a protected activity. And you use that much firepower to knock on his door while his family there. And also, the priest said that he was going to turn himself in, but they couldn't wait. I don't know. That's a scare tactic. They want us all to shut up.
But it's also funny to me that why is the FBI the ones doing the raid when he was just obstructing egress? Isn't that a local police department thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's probably just a misdemeanor, man. I ain't never seen the FBI deployed to someone's house, and I worked for the sheriff's department. We ain't never deployed. I ain't never seen them call the FBI for some guy that has a misdemeanor that failed to appear in court. So this was a scare tactic. This was to scare other religious leaders to not do this. See what we'll do? We'll send the FBI to your house with long gun.
I don't think it's just religious leaders, though. I think it's really anyone with a platform of status.
Yes.
Because this was a, like, I don't mean to be blatant and observant, but it was a white Catholic man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this was really like the epitome of what America stands for, and you just went totally against that. Then you can't even explain why.
At all.
It's amazing.
At all. Now, the what Hawley did was he brought a article that was talking about a bunch of the FBI agents who were not happy with how it went down. In fact, they didn't want to do what he asked them to do, but he made them. What's that buzzing?
It's my neighbors are stupid. Sorry.
Oh.
Just
So,
mute your
no,
mic while he talks.
They have
Can you do that?
they have they came forward and said that what they were wanting to do was to first of all get the okay, and this was in regard to both issues, both with the people there and with the Mar-a-Lago raid. And then they were overridden by Mr. Garland, and he refused to say whether or not he overrid them, just that he approved the orders. Now, when you hear this next one, you might understand a little bit better of exactly what they think we are.
Hey.
They think we're dumb.
Hey, hang on a second, Marlon. Someone wants our names put up next. So for our new people, I'm Bro Kitch. That's Marlon. That's Jay Lee, and that's Milo.
I can fix that.
All right, so
Mellow.
Sorry,
There you go.
my bad.
That's
Me looks
Lilo.
like Nilo.
Yeah. One L, no W. You know what I mean?
Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo and
here.
Stitch. My bad.
So here we go.
All right, there we go.
All right, listen up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Attorney General, you said in our last exchange that it's your practice to defer to FBI agents in the field when it comes to investigations, apprehensions of subjects. I was interested, given your answer, to read in this morning's Washington Post that the FBI is saying that you overruled them when it came to raiding ex-President Trump's personal residence. Washington Post reports this morning, showdown before the raid, that senior FBI officials who would be in charge of leading the search resisted doing so as too combative and proposed instead to seek Trump's permission to search his property. These field agents wanted to shutter the criminal investigation altogether in early June, the Post reports, but they were overruled by Maine DOJ. So I guess in light of your earlier testimony just this morning, my question is, how often do you overrule FBI field agents for political purposes?
I've skimmed that article. That's not an accurate reflection of what the article says, and I'm not able to comment on the investigation. My comment earlier was about tactics on the ground in particular cases.
Wait. You said it's not, I'm reading to you from the article. Quote, senior FBI officials who would be in charge of leading the search resisted the plan as too combative and proposed instead to seek Trump's permission to seek his property, according to 4 people who spoke of anonymity to describe a sensitive investigation, end quote.
Again, I have to say I'm not able to describe the investigation. I will say as a general matter and at a high level of generality, that in my experience, long experience as a prosecutor, there is often a robust discussion, and in the end, and it's encouraged among investigators and prosecutors.
My time is very
made.
Yes, and you made the decision. You said you did.
No, I'm sorry. What I said was I approved the decision.
So you didn't make the decision to raid?
I approved the decision to seek a search warrant after probable cause was
overruling the FBI agents who did not want to do so. Did you talk about this with the White House?
The memorandum does not. That
look at Ted Cruz. Did you see Ted Cruz?
It's like, this guy is nothing but BS.
I wonder if his breath stinks. Okay.
Who, Garland?
Yeah.
He does look like his breath smell like doo-doo.
Sugar honey
mixture of polydent and
well, you know, most demons smell like sulfur and duty. So he probably smells like that.
mixture of polydent and rotten eggs.
He just said that he had to check for probable cause before he deployed them, right? But didn't Tom Stevens say that the man wasn't blocking the insurance and the pastor wasn't blocking the insurance and nothing like that?
So on that case, nothing. He didn't have any cause to go after the man. In this case, with the Trump raid, he still had no reason to go after him because Trump was cooperating, and the FBI agents didn't want to go and do what he was asking them, or he was suggesting they did. They wanted to go get a warrant, and go there and cooperate with President Trump with a select few men and go do what they wanted to do. He decided that he was going to override what they were doing and send them in guns blazing because he had an agenda. Because if you remember, when they raided Trump, they had press there, and it was supposed to be a surprise raid.
That's right.
Okay, a surprise raid late at night, early morning, right? It was early morning. Mm-hmm. And you all of a sudden got the news there?
This is a political move. Again, They're telling the American people, if we do it to an ex-president, you're nothing to us. We'll definitely do it to you.
Yeah.
And like Marlon said, they had news there, guns blazing, all on an ex-president.
For something he was already
Private
turning
citizen
over.
at that point.
But still, he's an ex-president who still has Secret Service protection.
Right. And he still has classified document leniency.
That's right.
Okay. Unlike the potato in chief that didn't have anyone who was senator.
Child sniffer that had it in his
Right,
car
so
in his garage.
Let's see if he actually get
Corvette
an
in
answer.
his garage.
Intimidation.
Let's see if we get an answer out of him. Let's see if he
You're
gets
right,
an answer.
Lydia.
Potato and
Spoiler
cheese.
alert, we don't.
Washington Post article does not say what you're saying. I'm sorry, and I'm not able.
I think that, Mr. Chairman, I'll entire article be entered into the record.
Without objection.
And we can read for ourselves. I invite people to go and look. It says exactly that FBI field agents did not want to conduct the raid, and they were overruled by DOJ. So it doesn't seem to me, Attorney General, that the FBI has a lot of confidence in you, because what they're doing clearly is trying to distance themselves from your decisions. They're out there leaking left, right, and center and saying it wasn't us. We didn't want to do it. He made us do it. What's that say about their confidence in your leadership?
No, the previous senator said that they're leaking all in favor of the left. Now you're saying they're leaking all in favor of
I'm
the
asking
right.
you my question. Answer my question based on this evidence. Don't dissemble, Attorney
Time
General.
has expired.
Answer my question.
Time has expired.
Now, I'm going to jog some memory here. Do you remember when we had this so-called whistleblower back in the day for the impeachment of President Trump?
Yes.
And they were asking for a way to question this whistleblower in private, away from the public, even if you don't want them to. At least we, as the Republicans, need to question him. They said, no, that's not possible. But that particular whistleblower was dumping all kinds of so-called information to the press. Since last year, they've been telling us that almost 20 FBI agents have come forward saying that they have either reported their higher-ups and gotten nothing, or they have actually had conversations with their higher-ups and done nothing about the corruption in the DOJ and the FBI. Now, when they come forward and are willing to give their names and sign documentation that will put them at risk for giving the information, they don't want to hear, or they're not really reliable. And he's going to say now that, well, when they were leaking for the left, all of a sudden now it's a problem. No, what we had a problem with you not being fair with the information being handed out. What was done before was you were giving information that we were trying to ask about, but that only benefited the left. In this case, there is a blatant, obvious cachet of information that we want out from either left or right whistleblowers. We just want to know what they know. This is not the case with Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland has put forward, and this is also the same guy who did the parents are terrorists. None of you heard about that, Mello.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Garland is an operative of the left.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way that a president of the United States would have anyone in his cabinet of people, and especially if he's a Democrat, or Republicans do it too, that's the opposite party. You don't think they look at their voting record? You don't think they look at all that before they hire Garland? Garland is a left-wing operative hiding under the disguise as the chief or whatever he is of the Department of Justice. So he's always going to be biased. You need to find somebody that's fair and impartial, period. And independent, kind of like the way, well, you can't even say the Supreme Court is fair and impartial because
it's supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah, they're supposed to be, but they're not either. But it's very hard to find somebody that's like straight up fair these days. Everyone has their leaning, man. No matter if you say you're independent, no matter what, most independents lean one way or the other. So they're truly not an independent.
See,
you know what?
Because of what you're saying, and after listening to him talk, my question for y'all is, what is his angle? Like, what is? I don't get his goal or angle with this whole. Well, just what he does in general, as far as what's right or left. Like, what is his angle in this?
Well, and in my belief is. It's power, and they've always looked for a one-party system. So if they can keep going after people that are right, look at all these people we went after on the right. We need to get rid of that party and that ideology. So the more people on the right they attack, they arrest, they question, they raid, it makes us look like domestic terrorists. It's all power.
And I don't know if Mello, you heard about this, but this goes hand in hand with the stuff we were talking about on the mix. he had put out a memorandum about parents who were protesting certain things about schools. If you showed up angry about pedophiles running your school, gay material in the books, sexual natured things in the books in the school, you would be arrested because you were then considered a terrorist. He put out a memo. This be that memo, okay, in 2021. And this is what it said. Okay, this is from the Attorney General, Mayor Garland. As you can see, it's signed right there. Partnership among federal, state, local, tribal, and territorial law enforcement to address threats against school administrators, board members, teachers, and staff. Now, before we go any further,
pay attention to that rhetoric there. Pay attention to that rhetoric.
You can't talk bad about a teacher that is grooming your child. You can't talk bad about a teacher who is putting pedophilic stuff and sexual natured stuff in front of your children. You can't talk about them. And you can't talk about them trying to take your kid to a drag show or having a drag queen come talk. You can't say anything about it because that's considered threatening. How would we know it? Okay, listen to what it says. This is what his letter. In recent months, there has been a disturbing spike in harassment, intimidation, and threats of violence against school administrators, board members, teachers, and staff who participate, listen carefully, in the vital work of running our nation's public schools. While spirited debate about policy matters is protected under the Constitution, that protection does not extend to threats of violence or efforts to intimidate individuals based on their views.
Oh, I got something for that.
Okay. Now, listen carefully. If the school is run by pedophiles, you, as a parent, cannot show up angry about that. You have to take that particular thing up with the school board. But when you actually take it up with the school board, they'll tell you show up to the next meeting. When you show up to the next meeting, because that's where they invent their policies, right? They create the policy. They have the teachers come and the parents come. You can't say anything against the policy they're passing, because if you do, you're the terrorist.
Exactly.
Yep.
And you have to ask yourself, why are these local officials so protected by the Department of Justice? So the reason, and they're protected. This is why they get away with so much. This is why they say what they want. They have the drag queen shows. They're pushing, all this pedophilia and all this anti-Christian and all this stuff. You know why? Because if they can be prosecuted for talking against a child's religion, telling them that their religion is wrong, that totally goes against the First Amendment. But they're protected. So as a parent, I'm a parent, Marlon's a parent. As a parent, if my son came home and said, Dad, they told me that I'm not allowed to talk about Jesus in school, and if I do, they're going to suspend me, right? Then if you go up there and voice your opinion about their decision, the DOJ is protecting them, and I could be prosecuted for going up there voicing my opinion, which is ridiculous. Ridiculous. So I say get rid of the Department of Justice, period. That's why we got the Supreme Court. We don't need a Department of Justice.
So let me posit this then to further piggyback off of your point, bro. If the school board is not supposed to favor a certain faith system, then they're not really allowed to demonize another faith system, correct? I mean, that's by proxy of equality. So why is it then, if they're saying, then that means that the government is literally sanctioning a certain ideological viewpoint and favoring a certain ideology? And because if I can't speak out against, as a parent, if I can't speak out against my kids learning about this ideology, I do not want them to learn. And saying that, come to the next meeting where we're gonna, discuss policies for these schools, and I speak out against their decision to create curriculums, for this ideology, then they're favoring an ideology at that point. Isn't that violation of the First Amendment?
Yeah. Yes.
It's a local school board.
Governmental school board. and understand how they push science over religion. I consider science a religion. You know, they believe in the Big Bang. They believe that we came from nowhere, and they teach that and they preach that. Notice if you're against what science teaches, what do they call you? Anti-science. You only use that rhetoric if something is a theology. So they'll go, you're anti-science. You don't believe in science. What do Christians say when you talk about Christianity or any religion? You're anti-religion. They use the same rhetoric. So, you know, they're trying to teach science and believe in science and only science. And there is no guy, they call him the sky daddy, whatever, and they're constantly putting it down. So if you go in there and voice your opinion about them putting down religion in front of your child whose brains are still molding, because they don't want them to believe in God, that is a violation of the First Amendment, especially if the kid is a faithful Christian. They're trying to mind control them to not believe in it, and their brains are so fragile that eventually they'll start believing there's no God. That's their goal.
I would take it even further to say that they don't necessarily they favor other religions than Christianity. I would dare say, like, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
They demonize Christianity, but they pump up every other faith system that there is.
That's right.
And for the government, and even when it comes to this whole gay, you know, transgender ideology, which is an ideology, let's be real. If they are pushing that by protecting these teachers who are pushing that, then and for parents to speak out against it, that is in direct violation of the United States Constitution, because it is a government that is favoring a certain ideology, a certain worldview. And they are protecting the proponents of this worldview. And if you can't speak out against it and they have you arrested for it, that's a violation of the First Amendment.
It's a violation of every amendment. It's a violation of due process is already out the window right away.
Yeah.
I got a question. So go ahead, Marlon. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I want to ask: does this still qualify for the teachers too? Like, what if the teachers are something?
So the teachers are exempt. The teachers are exempt from this particular badgering thing. A teacher can speak out. Now, here's the thing: if a teacher, however, like Jay was saying, if a teacher decides to speak up in a Christian way, they get fired. That's been already set in stone. If, however, you talk about your penis in front of a child in school, you might even get a promotion or, you know, blasted all over the internet as a wondrous person. There was what was he, 9 or 10-year-old kid that did a reading in front of a board, and he was reading a book that they gave him for school, and it was crazy. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
It was grotesque.
I want to try and find Knox Zajac, I think is his name. Let me see if I find him. But when you hear what he actually has read, I think it'll blow your mind that if you came to school, now mind you, if this was handed to your child, let's finish the letter first and then I'll get to that, because I think we need to finish exactly what. So before that makes sense. Okay, so you can't intimidate them based on their views. Threats against public servants are not only illegal, they run counter to our nation's core values. If that really was illegal, if threats against public servants was illegal, please tell me how people like Johnny Depp, Madonna, Kathy Griffin didn't get arrested. For Biden, because he was also threatening to punch the president.
Mm-hmm.
If that's not a threat of violence, if you're going to say that's a threat of violence, is the reason for you making sure they're prosecuted, there are hordes of people everywhere on social media with videos are still up, giving not just threats to the former president, threats to Christians, threats to senators, and threats to congresspeople. If you're telling me that it's a violation, it's against the law, where are the arrests? That's one.
Yeah, let me say something, or you or anyone on the panel, let us say something that Madonna said, like Madonna said about the White House. Let us say something about what Biden said about President Trump. Let us say that. They be knocking on your door within 10 minutes, questioning you or ready to arrest you. So it's a special class, man. You know, good for them. You know, rules for them and rules for us, period. And we all know this.
So it says, those who dedicate their time and energy to ensuring that our children receive proper education, they do anyway, in a safe environment deserve to be held to be able to do their work without fear for their safety. The department takes these incidents seriously and is committed to using its authority and resources to discourage these threats, identify them when they occur, and prosecute them when appropriate. In the coming days, the department will announce a series of measures designed to address the rise in criminal conduct directed towards school personnel. Now, mind you, they have not arrested a soul for any of this at any time. But it was such a massive deal to them that they had to write a memorandum decrying something that they have yet to do anything about with anyone. Normally, this letter would come about if you've seen a couple of events take place and there have been prosecutions, and normally, I haven't heard of one.
That kind of
Have any of you heard of one?
No.
That kind of scares me to think that there might be a lot more, just because, like he said, like Michael says, part of the agenda. They could just start doing a lot more school situations to make us start agreeing with this act.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yep.
I could see that.
And you're right, man. It's a fear tactic because it gets citizens like us, the more outspoken people, which I know for myself, I'm very outspoken, you know, to kind of scare us, to lose our whole livelihood. No one wants to do that, no matter the cost. We have families to take care of. We have stuff, you know, so we're not going to speak out for something simple, some citizens, that may cause them to lose everything that they have. Yeah. So for a lot of these citizens, all they do is get put on the FBI watch list. You know, there's so many of us on the FBI watch list. I'm pretty sure I'm on it because I always talk my disdain for the Democratic Party, for what's the name, the potato in chief. You know what I mean? I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I didn't vote for him, so I don't care.
Right.
Outside of the voting, the man is messing up the country. I'm pretty sure you can be objective about something that he's worse for the country than any other president we ever had.
Yep.
Anyway, coordination and partnership with local law. Listen carefully to this, please. Local enforcement is critical to implementing these measures for the benefit of our nation's nearly 14,000 public school districts. Where they're getting the money, I don't know. To this end, I am directing the FBI, working with each United States attorney, to convene meetings with federal, state, local, tribal, territorial leaders in each federal judicial district within 30 days of the issuance of this memorandum. These meetings will facilitate the discussion of strategies for addressing threats against school administrators, board members, teachers, and staff, and will open dedicated lines of communication for threat reporting, assessment, and response. The department is steadfast in its commitment to protect all people of the United States from violence, threats of violence, and other form of intimidation and harassment, which is all a lie because you do not protect everybody.
Nope.
Like, not even in the slightest do you protect everybody. You protect who you want.
Yep. And a lot of these threats, you know, it's based off how the DOJ sees it, the interpretation. So they can interpret whether or not it's a threat, even though you probably didn't mean it in the way they're saying it. But it's all about, you know, their opinion on it. You know what I mean? So especially if you're on the right, and look, if I was to say something crazy, you don't think they're looking at my voting record? You don't think they're looking at my voter registration? A Democrat can say the same thing and they're going to brush it under a rug. Let me say something, or you. They're, you know what I mean? Because they consider people on the right, or people that, because I'm not a Republican, but I lean right, or people that are center right, they consider it's a threat. And they always throw out the term democracy. We're not a democracy, man. Stop saying that shit. We are a constitutional republic, period. So they use this communist terminology. And if you look at the communist tactics, they call us a democracy. So this is why the DOJ uses terms like a threat to our democracy, because too many dumb Americans think we're a democracy. So the dumb Americans who are thinking we're a democracy and we're a threat, they approve what the DOJ is doing. Us on the right, we believe in the Constitution. The Constitution is supreme law. You know, so we don't believe in that terminology. People are free to say what the hell they want to say. Saying a threat is not doing a threat. I could see if I went to somebody's house and actually beat the snot out their ass. Just because I say it doesn't mean I do it. A lot of people speak with emotion and out of anger. And that's how they have to look at it. If you got to watch them, watch them.
Here's another thing, too, is that, like you said, Michael, when they say that it's a matter of what they define a threat to be. Like, I've seen some of these school board meetings with the whole tranny movement thing, and these parents are not aggressive at all. They're confrontational. Like, it is in my right as a parent to do this and teach this to my child. And it is not your right to do so, school board. With the left, particularly with the left, they have also asserted that speech is violence.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore comes that avenue. But also at the same time, isn't silence also violence?
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the left, there's no rationality dealing with people like that who claim that speech is violence. Therefore, we're threatened because you disagree with us, or we feel threatened because you said no to our way of thinking. And then the DOJ will say, well, yeah, they felt threatened, so therefore mom and dad, sorry, jail time, because they felt threatened.
And there's going to be a point, man. They're going to be locking a lot of us up for just minute shit. You wait until the next big pandemic happens, right? And how Biden signed over our sovereignty to the WHO. Just wait. Yeah. And they're going to start rounding people up who are against the WHO, who haven't got vaccinated. You'll see, because we're a threat. Watch. You better be ready to guns blazing, pew, 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 because I ain't going out like that. I'm letting you know right now, FBI, hear my voice.
So Marlon, I got a question. This really for all y'all, but I got a question just because I'm after reading the document, I want to see a loophole, not to try to get around it, but just I want to see how Trump tight it is. Did they say anything about kids speaking out against the administration? The students itself?
No, because they also don't allow them in the room when they're dealing with the parent teacher, like with the rules and stuff. They don't let the kids in there anyway. But there are certain events that take place with the school board outside of that kind of setting, like this little kid showed up to. And what will end up happening normally is that they shut it down when they start to read something, because they consider it offensive and inappropriate to read what this kid is. You're going to hear him. What he's going to read to you, he can't read in the meeting because it's inappropriate, but it's in the library that he goes to school, and they can read it in the school.
And or part of the curriculum.
Okay? School, the school can read the meeting and read it. All right? Listen carefully. I can't put stuff up.
I'd like to read you a page. I asked you to take off my teeth laughing when I can't buttons. To his bedside drawer for condom. We're kissing again. We're rolling over. Obviously, you can see where this is going. I don't know if it's because especially emotional or just these past couple of weeks and too much. It's been so and we had sex. Terrible. We didn't know, but good too.
Can't hear it.
It cut out. Hold on. Wait for it to come back up.
Your FBI agent's observing your connection there.
That's right. The fake BI. Fake Bureau of Investigations. They just need to get rid of the FBI. It's useless anyway. CIA,
NSA,
DEA, ATF. Get rid of them all. It's a waste of money. Leave everything up to local.
State,
Because FBI has gotten away from protecting America. It's more worried about the American citizens than a foreign threat.
Well, I mean, even when J. Edgar Hoover started that mess, it was always about the American citizens instead of foreign threats. You know what I mean?
But it should never be like that. They should focus on the outside, not in. That's why we have local law enforcement. Right. Increase their budget for monitoring criminals and everything. We don't need FBI, ATF. They don't need to know what goes on in my house. They don't need to be monitoring us, listening to our phone calls, looking at our internet search engines.
Homeland.
All that Homeland Security. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Oh, sorry, I dropped the F-bomb. Get the hell out of here with that crap.
You expect us to vote for you and support you, but you want to monitor us and dictate what we say and do. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'll never vote. I'll never vote left ever.
This country, love America.
See me now and hear me now.
Yeah. I'll vote for a freaking crawfish before I vote for somebody on the left.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, we got you.
We do. We got you.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good.
You good?
All right. I just want to make sure. My system is overloaded right now. It's trying to play too many things The kid goes on to read a bunch of stuff that has to do with this particular book. And in the process of reading it, you can tell how comfortable he is. But the question, why that book exists in the school to begin with? That is the question. You guys have that in the school. What does that have to do with my child learning anything? If you're trying to tell me that the child needs to know about pulling someone's pants down and using a condom, and not just the condom, but all of the graphic detail of what you do with the condom, there's a massive problem.
Yes.
And if you're a parent and you can't talk about that because you're going to get arrested, well, they're making it impossible for you to do anything.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a little theory. So is it possible because
I don't
of all
know the
this
title
stuff,
of the book. Let's see if I can title of the book.
is it possible that this is also another push to ensure that your kids are going to be raised by the state?
Most definitely.
Definitely. I mean, they've been pushing that for years, man.
Yes,
this is why they're so against homeschooling, and they despise homeschooling, but there's really nothing they can do. There is no reason at all for a child to be learning anything like that in school. And the minute you tell them that it's a parent's responsibility, they get upset. And then they go to say, well, some parents aren't teaching it. That's why they're the parent. They teach things when they're ready to teach them. The state doesn't decide when their child learns about sex. The state doesn't the state doesn't decide about when their child learns about gender dysphoria. The state doesn't. It's not their job to teach kids about homosexuality. That's the parents' job. You know how I learned about homosexuality? I saw it in school. We all knew, and we didn't care. But they want you to accept it. They want these children to accept everything about it, instead of just letting people minding their own business and be like, I don't care what they do with their life. I don't have to accept it. I'll tolerate it. Doesn't mean I hate them. I just don't believe in that. Period.
Wasn't part of the law passed or bill passed or part of that statement saying that homeschooling was supposed to be illegal?
They're trying to
ban it, right?
Yeah, they're trying because they want to be control of education.
What blows my mind is that they'll have books like that, but back in the day, didn't they ban Mary Beecher Stowe and Harriet Beecher Stowe, and they banned what was it, Uncle Tom's Cabin? So you'll ban stuff like that, but you'll put this sexual innuendos into children's books. That's insane. That's like New Jersey school system.
Yeah, and I remember going through sex ed. I had to get a permission slip for me to even get taught that to take to school.
Same.
Yeah.
But now there's just willy-nilly, man. It's just shit's everywhere for these kids. And, you know, they're trying to, it's all mind control. And this is part of the big plan, which is population control. If they can mold these kids' mind into thinking that homosexuality and transgenderism is normal, which it's not, they can help control the population.
Well, it's not just that; it's also ideological, I would say, because here's what I'm seeing. You got homosexuality, which halts procreation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in terms of population control, they don't want any more kids. So what they do is they try and turn the kids gay, so they don't reproduce naturally. So there's you know, cutting that procreation thing off. Then you got this anti-marriage, kids out of wedlock thing, where you know, staying, you know, like
getting rid of
gonna have kids
family
out of wedlock. Yeah, get rid of the nuclear family.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got this whole transgender agenda, which is now chemically castrating your kids.
That's right.
So they
It's
can't.
all part of the. It's all.
I chalk it all up to pedophilia because think about it. They're kind of exposing that fact. We already know what most of Congress is doing, but the fact that you are attacking kids now, kids mentally, it's you're just exposing yourself even more. So I mean, of course, the whole transsexuality and homosexuality and all this stuff going on to it, I count that all as pedophilia. Not saying the people a part of it are, but I'm saying in this situation with Congress, this is an act to me of pedophilia. Like, you guys are really trying to train kids up to be what you want them to be, like sexually, not even mentally anymore, not even politically anymore, no, or financially. It's just sexually now. That's crazy.
Yep.
Bro, I put the link in your in the private chat. If you can click on it and play it on your end, that'd be great. In the meantime, it's not the first time that the reason this whole thing came up and is acting out the way it is from the advent of the time that the Biden administration stepped in. You saw a massive uptick in the attack on parents, like a huge uptick in the attack on parents. Either because you were talking out against the grooming of children, the jabbing of children, the transitioning of children, or just plain out abuse of certain kinds of children. So when you have an administration that sees that going on because you brought it in, and now you're attacking the people that are trying to stop that from happening to children, the only thing I can decipher from that,
Jesus,
is that you directly want what's taking place to take place against the kids. That's the only thing I can think of. Just press the expand button there for it. Yeah, just expand it so it's full screen.
Hey, Marlon, did you hear that some lefties on TikTok are saying that parents' rights are now fascistic?
This is the video. There's no expand screen.
Yes. You'll see it in a minute. When you press play.
Oh, okay. All right.
There it is. Yep, right there.
You see it right next to loading.
Yeah, a lot of lefties on TikTok are saying that if you are trying to fight for parents' rights, you're a fascist.
That's right. They throw that term around like everything's fascism. They don't even know what it means.
Yeah.
They're making us so soft nowadays. Not us, but you know what I mean. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The left or the true fascists.
Yep.
This book was on a stand. I'd like to read you a page.
All right, let's see what he says.
Damn buffering. All right, come
I
on.
thought mine was bad.
My back over my
buffering.
my
I
back
thought mine
over my
was
hips
bad.
as I ask if we should take off.
I'm telling you, this is the FBI, man, because my internet doesn't do this.
Take our
This
clothes
video.
off. And he's saying yes before I finish my sentence.
Yeah, my internet doesn't usually do this.
Send it to me. The FBI don't know me. I promise.
He's pulling off my
It's in the
t-shirt.
it's in the
laughing
private
when
chat.
I can't undo my shirt buttons. He's undoing my belt. I'm reaching into his bedside drawer for a condom. We're kissing again, we're rolling over. Obviously, you can see where this is going. I don't know if it's because we're feeling especially emotional or just tired, or these past couple of weeks have been too much. But this reminds me so much of the first time we had sex. We were both terrified, and the whole thing was kind of terrible because we didn't know what we were doing. But it was good too, so good, because we were a mess of emotions, and we were scared and excited, and everything felt new. So this sort of feels like that. Nick touches me like he's scared that any minute. Now, this book was at my middle school, and it was on a stand. When I rented it out to show my dad it, the librarian asked if I wanted more and if I wanted a graphic novel version.
Holy shit.
Oh, wow.
What?
It's grooming, man.
Okay. And if we go, hear this out. Listen carefully, people. If we go to the school meeting and raise hell about that book, we are inciting violence. If we go there and verbally accost the school board, the teachers, and everyone for having that book, and we do it because we're pissed, as you should be, that would be considered an act of violence, and the FBI can just show up at your home or during the meeting, guns and all, and arrest you because they've branded you not just bad, a terrorist.
Yeah, this is part of the alphabet mafia's whole plan, man. You know, again, population control. If they can teach these kids that this is okay, and you get the same pleasure, so they say, that you would get from sleeping with someone of an opposite sex, you don't have to worry about getting someone pregnant. You don't have to worry about this. You don't have to worry about child support. Just sleep with the same sex. So it's all part of the agenda, man. Fuck them. Sorry, but
I'm rarely
that
shocked.
shit ain't going down in my house.
I rarely get shocked or surprised, but that's the wildest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's not as wild as you're gonna see here in a minute. If I can find the right screenshot.
And the LBGTQFT or WXOP community thinks this is totally fine. It's all grooming, man. It's okay. You know, if you get molested, it's okay.
I'm glad they had the boy read that too. It hit home. Go ahead, my bad, Jay.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just going to say that there's a lot of people within the transgender community, and I use that very specifically, where they would also say that little kids can feel and understand, you know, their sexuality. I mean, we're talking like an 11-year-old, and this guy's name is Alok something. He's an outspoken transgender, but like they're literally trying to minimize and take away the innocence of children in order for them to be able to gray line the notions of adulthood and childhood. All, like Michael said, for population control and pushing an agenda that takes away the protection of the parents, which is why you can't speak out of school boards anymore, and then completely just derails, you know, everything that we know to be true about male, female, men, women, family dynamics, culture, sexuality, etc. It's crazy.
It gets worse. Go ahead, Mel.
I believe it.
No, I was just about to say the comfortability of it is mind blowing. But I remember I was talking to you about this. That I asked you. It feels like they're about to start giving kids rights enough to vote and everything.
Yeah,
and
at 16.
That's what they're about to start doing.
Yeah,
I can now see what you were saying. That's crazy. Because now they're
and think about something. You know, I don't know how many people are actually religious in here. You know, I'm a Christian. I'm a lukewarm Christian, but you know, there's only requirement to get into heaven, and that's to believe that Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior. All the rest of the mumbo jumbo in the Bible that was written by other men, I kind of take that with a grain of salt. But
I have issue with that, but that's a different show.
Same here. But remember the fall of Babylon, right? What was the one reason why Babylon failed? We're talking about it right now.
It was their expansion, wasn't it?
Homosexuality in the Tower of Babylon. So, you know, homosexuality ran rapid. Sin. And this is the thing, man. The powers to be, to me, are evil as shit. They want your soul. They don't want your soul to go anywhere else. They want to give your soul to Satan. So they can force you to sin like this. You're already damned.
And it's not even forced. Okay, they're trying to coerce.
Well, forcing and coercing can almost
Well,
be
in their mind, their coercion is guidance.
Rome.
Okay, so I want you to this book. This is a book. This is
That's
a
right, Co.
fictional book. A fictional book. They call it. How do they phrase it? They term it as, just plain old fiction. This is written by a transgender. It is for ages 13 through 18.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that age again, 13 through 18. 13. Okay. And he's writing this book. It's in schools today. If you find it, please be completely aware that this book exists. Okay. The name of the book is called, let me grab the name here.
The book's called Sticking in My Butt, Please.
This book is gay. The book is called This Book is Gay.
That's the name of the book.
Oh, lovely. So that's the name.
And they read it?
Yeah. This book is gay.
Wow.
Okay, listen to the chapter headings. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
This is just the chapter headings. Welcome to the Members Club. The name game. You can't mistake our biology. Stereotypes are poo. The fear. Haters gonna hate. Coming out. Where to meet people like you. The ins and outs about gay sex. Nesting. Hats. The guide to recognizing your gay saints. Build a bridge. And the cheat sheet.
Wow.
This is one
You know what?
of the chapters.
Mm.
All right, this is one of the chapters. I'm sorry if it's too fine.
We
print.
looked at this before, haven't we, Marlon?
On a different show.
Yeah.
Sex parties and saunas. This guide is all things gay. It would be wrong for me not to mention the things most brochures would gloss over. In big cities all around the world, there are places that cater to gay men's seeming obsession with sex. Saunas and bathhouses are dotted all over the country, and they are perfectly legal. People, many saunas run lesbian nights, pay some money to enter, and they have a bit of sauna and some random sex. Remember, 13 to 18. Again, this is all fine as long as you are safe. That said, never once did I hear anyone say, "This is my husband, Derek. We met at Chariots in the Vauxhall, and it was true love." Saunas are regarded as a little sleazy, and people often visit them, in these places in secret. It is also true that sexual health clinics often have to treat people who have been to saunas and come away with more than healthy glowing skin. The advent of sex app has also removed the need to pay the entry fee. In big cities, most often use the apps to invite loads of people around for a party or to chill out. These are code words for an orgy. 13 through 19. Remember that. Simple drugs. Therefore, guys also have a Bosch, a load of Viagra. How exhausting. Some sources suggest that such parties are partly to blame for the sharp rise in HIV, syphilis, hepatitis, and the gay scene. Geez, remember when parties were just about jelly and ice cream and sausage on sticks? Sigh. Let's go back to that. Clearly, going round some random flat with a load of guys that you don't know is a bit on the safety dubious side. And dear God, wear a condom. Wear two.
So
Same.
what I love about this is how just they gloss over the idea of, HIV, STDs, venereal diseases, you just go whatever. So nonchalant.
I feel like they didn't gloss over nothing. This is way too detailed for a school book. And I mean,
but just
this is one of this.
Well, but look, there's what does it say? Partly to blame for sharp rise in HIV, syphilis, hepatitis, and the gay scene. Jeez, remember when parties were just about jelly and ice cream and sausage? So it's dismissing the reality and the serious harmfulness that these diseases will inflict on the body, but they're just kind of sort of sweeping it over. It's like, it's not that big a deal.
I see what you mean.
That's what I mean.
Right? It's okay. Go ahead and go catch you some. That's insane.
Right.
Yeah.
What I would do in these schools, I would get the community together and have their kids go and rent out those books, and then I'd have a book burning party. And we'll just pay the fine. I start a bonfire and we all come together and we just burn them.
But then you have the FBI at your door.
Oh well,
You're a terrorist.
I ain't worried about the fake
Jeez.
bureau. I'm not worried about the fake bureau investigations. They're fake. They're frauds. I don't take anything they say seriously. They work for the government.
Mhm.
Your best interest isn't that they don't care about your best interest. They care about their overlords telling them what to do, whether it's legal or illegal. They don't care.
But they
don't
care about
the
your tax money
Constitution.
coming in.
They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about violating your rights. They're pension pimps. So they're going to do whatever they have to do to get the job done so they don't lose their pension. You know why I left the sheriff's department? People say why didn't you stay with the sheriff's department? You could have got a second pension. Because I didn't agree with a lot of the shit. I don't like being told what to do, whether I agree or not. And sometimes I didn't like the way they were treating people. So I left, period. So I'm a man of my convictions, man. I'm a man of principle. And just because I'm getting paid don't mean I have to stay. I'll go work at McDonald's. Be a man of principle or a woman of principle. Money ain't everything. Comes and it goes.
It's bad enough that they're pushing homosexuality. It's bad enough that we as grown men and grown women were being affected by it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you put laws in place to where it can't be unbroken and you attack kids with the same mentality, I feel like as American people, that's a time that we should really unite. Like we argue about a lot of stuff. This is no argument. I feel like everybody feels the same way about this, except pedophiles, of course. But yeah, this is something that we got to unite on. Like this has to be changed. You just surprised the best out of me. I don't know what to say.
That's right. American people really need to unite.
What's next after the book burning party? Are y'all going to meet? Are y'all meeting someone at their house to burn their house down? Okay, so
what?
So we're kind of spelling.
You might be one of those pedophile, people that want to encourage them. I can understand that you might be one of them, and that you want to go to the extreme because we're trying to protect our children from people like you. Okay, I get that. I understand that. I understand because you know what? Evil people go and defend evil people.
Yeah,
that's right.
Sick people will defend sick people. If you want to just tell people right now that you're a pedophile, I can make sure I call the authorities to have you arrested for pedophilic behavior.
I heard it. I read pedophile in there somewhere. Hold on.
If that's what you're trying to tell people without telling people, say it out loud. Be proud of what you are if you're going to be bragging about it.
Be proud you're a kitty diggler.
Just say that you are. But I'll tell you this right here. If you act a certain way with my child that scars them, the police better find you first.
Yeah.
You damn right.
All right. And if you are one of those people that are a pedophile, you can completely leave the platform because we don't want no pedophiles following us.
Fuck no.
We don't. We just don't.
Go drink some ether. Do us
Where
all
did
a favor.
we ever go from us saying we're going to burn the books to go burn down somebody's house? Where did we ever say that? Only a moron would think that. And you obviously are one of those morons.
That's right.
Right? Or you're still a moron, but you're also a pedophile. So you're a pedophilic moron. Makes you twice as dangerous.
And you may not diddy kids, but you support that shit. So exo facto, that makes you a kitty diggler.
Makes you a kitty diggler.
That's crazy because I've been waiting for this to happen. Something they always started putting it on us where we have to be in agreement and be tolerable to trans, to the gender neutral people. And I've been waiting for them to finally be open enough to say it about pedophiles. And I guess it's the time, Aaron, to do it on. I don't know what to say.
Well, Mello, have you heard about this thing called MAPS?
Yes.
Explain it.
So what they're trying to do is they're trying to lump. Say what? What? Go ahead. What?
No. I'm not saying that.
Oh, okay. So they're trying to create this new identity called minor attracted persons.
Mm-hmm. Look it up.
And that's a softer way of saying
real.
Pedophile.
It's real.
And what they're trying to do is they're trying to include MAPS with the LGBTQ.
And also, let me give you guys some advice. Before you still go start searching for certain things, make sure you have a VPN on your laptop or your phone.
They're gonna try and say that's what your intention.
So always use a VPN. They're cheap. Yeah. But another thing that they need to get rid of is NAMBLA. You know what, Marlon? I think we should start a petition to get rid of NAMBLA.
Yeah, we already starting one through Too Strong.
Okay, so there is one out there. Hopefully, Marlon post a link. Go over and sign that petition because we need to get rid of NAMBLA or MAMBLA. What is it, NAMBLA?
It's NAMBLA.
Yeah.
So listen to the rest of this statement, okay? Listen before we so rudely interrupt.
National Association of
All right. Listen carefully. Homosexual people love a lot of sex, but we also love a lot of love. Every day, all over the world, you'll find gay men and women deeply, totally in love, and they have something better than just sex. They have intimacy, warmth, passion, and love, and need to be with their partner. Also, you can have all the sex in the world, but it quite literally isn't filling the same hole.
What?
Now, hey, look, before Marlon continues, I want everyone to know out there that we're not against someone that loves their partner. Hey, do you?
I am. I'm gonna say that.
I'm gonna speak for myself.
Okay, good.
I don't agree with that lifestyle, but I don't care. I just want you to stay the hell away from our kids. Just stay the hell away from me. You do you. I don't care about your life like that. Do you? But stay away from my kids and stop teaching them that. And there's a lot of people part of that community that agree with me. They don't think kids should be getting taught this stuff.
So this is the kicker in the pants, right? I believe we all want to be loved. This is how you groom a child. This chapter was all about sex, not intimacy. So you just touted this intimacy thing, but you tell the child, don't worry about that. This is about sex. You can't find intimacy in a dark room or on Grindr. More valuable than bum or muff fun is holding hands, kisses, and hugs. I am sure some of you are miming sticking two fingers down your throat because it's true love. 13 through 18.
Holy crap. You got me on this one, Marlon. I ain't gonna lie.
13 to 18. And I'm telling you, if you think it's only 13-year-olds that go and pick that book up because he makes the cover quite appealing.
Yes.
If you think it's only a 13-year-old, they would rent it to someone smaller than that. The book is aimed at 13, but it's in the library with kids who are in school as young as 11. So let that process through your mind for just a second. That's what they're pushing. Let's scope this thing out now to close. You have the people pushing that. That gets back to you as a parent. You as a parent, read this book, go to the school, confront the principal, and tell him what in the blue blazes is this doing in my child's school. The principal feels threatened by you coming to ask him about it because you're pissed, calls the police. The police can contact the FBI to come find you at your home and arrest you for threatening the principal by bringing that to his attention. You are now branded a terrorist.
And you know,
they can have long guns show up at your home, point them at you, and arrest if they need to.
One thing I want people to think about again on a religious aspect, I think we are in a tribulation because there's a lot of evil out there. And I truly believe, you know, the abomination of desolation is messing with kids who God totally thinks are 100% pure, 100% innocent. You know, so think about that stuff. You know, when abominable desolation happens, when kids are allowed to get molested and beat and taught things they shouldn't learn, that's an abomination. So that's how I interpret it. Others may have their own interpretation, but that's how I see it. So the more Americans and more you parents out there need to speak up. And if you're scared to speak up on your platform, just email us and we'll say it for you. You know, because we don't hold nothing back. We say what we want to say and how the hell we want to say it. So you guys have our email address. Marlon will put it up again, and just email us how you feel about certain things because we like that interaction, man.
And don't even speak out to us. By all means, please educate your kids.
That's right.
Prepare them for this. Like this blew my mind. I'm speechless.
It's crazy. There are worse books out there than this one.
Wow,
way worse. Another parent tried to read it, and they shut him down because it was too graphic. They told him. Adults, only adults. He said there was too graphic. And he says, so wait, it's too graphic for you to read, but it's not too graphic for the kids to read? Make that make sense? Oh, it's because the teachers are showing them.
Wow. Wow.
That's their excuse. because the teachers are
and
shut down.
terrorism.
That's right.
So now you are a bad guy because you are defending the sanctity of your kid and the innocence of your child. All of a sudden, it's a problem.
Might as well
Hey.
call the FBI on myself.
Yeah. I'm saying now, people, you better start looking at it. If I were to give any advice to parents, take some time, go down to the school, peruse the library, or ask them for a loadout of all the books that they carry. Go find every book in your leisure time and find out which book they're trying to peddle the most to children. And once you find that out, you go straight
Burn
to
it.
them and tell them, we ain't having this in the school.
And burn it.
Then you got to find.
Yep, burn it. Hey, I know we're about to close out. We're a little over time. We do have a Patreon coming out, and we're going to start making swag and gear for our followers. So be on the lookout for that.
It be coming.
It be coming soon. And we're going to have individual gear too. So it'll be, the Savage Patriots, but us individual hosts will come up with our own designs. Because of
I
course,
ain't want no design.
everybody has their favorite host with the most. So
I just want my fro. as long as I
there'd
get
be a
my fro.
Marlon Brand, there'll be a Bro Kids, Milo, and Jay Lee.
Mellow.
I keep saying me because I'm looking at it says me. All right, mellow, like caramello.
One L, no W.
Yeah.
Super mellow.
That ain't the first time you heard somebody call you Milo, though. I mean,
It
Not
is.
at all.
yeah,
Not
it's
at all.
mellow. So be on the lookout for it, man, and
Moilo.
support our Patreon because that helps us, especially get that stuff. And we're not begging for money, but a lot of times if equipment goes down, we kind of have the funds to get our equipment back up because this shit ain't cheap, and we're doing all of this,
I'm cheap.
kind of out of our own pockets. So, and it kind of helps, so be on the lookout for that. You ain't got to give much, maybe $1, then
You ain't got to give nothing.
You ain't got to give nothing.
What you really need to do is like, share, and subscribe.
That's the main thing you need.
That's
to
what
do.
you
And
really
pay
need to do.
attention.
You
And
like it, you share it, and if you haven't subscribed, go subscribe. If you are subscribed, share it. That really, we need to get, like I said, our goal right now,
1K.
1K. We need to hit that 1K marker. Okay?
And one thing I'm gonna talk to Marlon about. I think we should start highlighting our most dedicated followers. At least
that'll
once a
come
week.
in time.
Yeah,
That'll come in
once a
time.
week we're gonna start doing stuff like that. So
I'll
stay
drop
dedicated.
the link here for the channel, Badam. So if you guys are on Facebook, grab the link. Even if you don't watch it on YouTube, even if you don't, and you prefer to watch it on Facebook, that's fine. Just make sure you go, take the link, subscribe to the channel, share the channel, and people who may actually like YouTube better than Facebook, put it on your page, advertise it, and they'll come, they'll sign up. That's what we need. We need as many as you can to do this. We are at 722. Okay, we have 722.
I know y'all have like 300 some odd people amongst all of you. So
you got people following
Right.
you. Put it up on your page, share the mess out of it, like, share, subscribe.
Hype it up.
Get
Smash
the
that
word
like
out.
Share this episode.
I-
There is a
I-
share button.
I will be back in 15 minutes for Too Strong, and then in an hour and a half after that with Mello on the mix. So
y'all need to go check those out too.
And
Full
also, I have another podcast that is going to be every Sunday. Well, we've been around for about 5 years, called the Hooch Podcast. It's a veteran podcast. So I'm trying to see if we can get into the Straight Talk family because they don't have a veteran podcast yet.
hey, well, I'll talk to Corey as soon as I get off here.
Yep.
So I get you
So,
guys signed up.
Look out for that
podcast.
Sunday.
Bet.
Time is coming.
Watch me. I bet you just integrate him into the Savage Patriots, bro.
Yeah, we can do that too. And then
Bring him
make
over.
sure you're following our social media pages. I think there's a link, Instagram and TikTok. I do a lot more content on TikTok. Some of you follow me, some of you don't. And our Instagrams. Show us some love.
Yep.
We're putting ourselves out there and showing love, helps out a lot. That
A
means we're
break.
doing something right.
What do you call a break? What are you talking about, break?
You need a break.
We break when we dead.
I got a break on the weekends. I'll sleep on the weekends. That's what they're for.
There you go.
And make sure you guys are checking out my cooking too.
I do want to add one more to everybody watching. Please make sure y'all share this because this blew my mind. I know it blew some of y'all's, and we need to spread this out. So I like what
That's
they're
right.
doing on this channel. Please share this.
Milo, nice to have you on the live.
Mello.
God dang it. Mello.
I'm
old.
put two
And
up.
didn't I tell you he was old?
Yeah, I got to get rid of that.
That's a generation A.
No, I'm separating the two. So I just got to I gotta go. Mel. Oh, all right, Mello. Somebody said it's nice to have you on the live. God bless. That's on YouTube.
There you go.
Reading the comments.
All right. So we love you guys. See you guys in Too Strong in about 15 minutes. If you
Go there,
wanna miss
check
it,
them out. Go
Kim
there.
Kardashian got found with 270K in a garbage bag. We want to know what that's about.
Where's she at?
So, link to some pretty
Thinking.
some pretty crazy people. So we'll talk about that at Too Strong. Make sure you tune in
Next week, same bat time, same bat channel.
No, Wednesday. We'll be back Wednesday, and we'll be back Friday.
Okay, there you go.
I'll have the topics for you guys by tonight or tomorrow. So you keep a lookout. Make sure you put that notification bell on, and we'll catch you guys on Wednesday. This is the Savage Patriots. We'll catch you guys on Wednesday. Peace.